Before we start with what we want to talk about in this video, I just want to say I got a fresh haircut. I know, don't get swooned too hard. If you think this is a really good haircut, please comment something. I need the ego boost. Today's subject: I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And honestly, I do not know what these critics are going crazy over. Even IGN gave it a super low score, and they were saying that it had too much plot. Does nothing please critics these days? And you're critiquing, let's not forget, a PG-13 horror movie this harshly. Do people just like shitting on things that are mainly just made for children, honestly, at this point? I don't get the mess that everyone is having. And when I say mess that everyone is having, I'm talking about the critics, that they believe they have to rate these things based on something that they would love and not in the, let's say, eyes of the casual audience. Not even the people that casually watch the movie. I'm talking about the ones that at least like knew parts of the lore. Like, there were moments, and I'll try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. Hey, even maybe I'll make it all spoiler free. Who knows? There were a couple of parts in this movie that differed largely from the established lore. There were a couple of things that tied the main character to the other characters. A certain character is now related to another major character. Like, these things just came out of nowhere if you paid attention to the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's and then watched this movie. You would completely realize the very major changes they had. But all in all, Blumhouse did a really good job. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the animatronics looked great. It's amazing how they got Foxy to work. It's just, if I never looked at the not the behind the scenes, but like the TikToks and how some people were able to visit the Five Nights at Freddy's pizzeria wherever it was, like they had like a FNAF experience that you could go to, I would be confused with either the animatronics being completely CGI or them being just people in suits. To my surprise, everything in the movie around the animatronics was practical. They looked really good. They acted very well. Even the character that I did not expect to get that much screen time, the cupcake, Chica's cupcake, it was amazing, honestly. It completely surprised me. My favorite character in the FNAF series is Springtrap. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the rendition, the interpretation Blumhouse had with the Springtrap character. It was really, like, nothing beats the look they had for Springtrap in FNAF 3. They could have done something similar to it. There's a lot of cosplays around this specific character, so it was proven by the cosplayers that it's like you can make something that's very close to that. But I liked what they did with the character. I'm not gonna lie, it looked really good. Now, to talk about the story honestly just like straight up has nothing to do with the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, but they needed a way to like piece things together. So the story is there for the people that don't know the lore. And then there are bits and pieces that are sprinkled in there lore-wise for the people that actually paid attention or like looked into the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's really, like, the way they did it with the Easter eggs and stuff like that, it was really good. I loved it. Like, seeing MatPat from Game Theory in the movie as the I don't want to spoil it. And seeing Corey X Kenshin, I think his name is, I know who he is and what he looks like, but I never watched his content, so I'm guessing, like, I was still, like, happy to see another YouTuber in this movie. The only person that I kind of expected to see in the movie, and I hope, like, they reached out to him and, like, things happened so he couldn't do it. It would be sad if they didn't. Markiplier. Markiplier was also, like, very closely tied to the FNAF franchise. He played every single FNAF game. He played every single one close to their releases, even. Like, it was sad that he wasn't there, or I don't know if they even gave a reference to him. But all in all, Rotten Tomatoes, IGN, they were being very, like, critical for no reason. It's literally, like, video game movies are usually just pretty bad, let's be honest. Like, even video game shows, like, they're really bad. The only one that has had a really good, like, implementation of video game shows or movies was Arcane and Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I think it was called. Like, those two, I haven't watched Edge Runners, but, like, from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's like it was faithful to a T. And then you look at, like, the ones that weren't faithful. You look at the Resident Evil movies, not the animated ones. I'm talking about the live action ones. You look at the House of the Dead movie they did all the way back when. You have the Halo show. Like, that by itself is, like, even to the casual viewer, there were maybe 5 minutes in total of the whole season that they enjoyed, and then the rest is just like... Ubisoft currently has a Netflix show, so that seems very interesting. I'm hoping now that video game movies are, like, getting the needed love they need. Blumhouse, I believe, proved that sticking... Not sticking completely into the script, or not, like, changing so much of the script that it doesn't even reflect the original lore. Blumhouse did a really good job with this movie. Will there be a sequel? Who knows? It would be great to see a sequel. It's a really good starting point. The way it was done, that, like, let's just hope it doesn't become like the straight to DVD equivalent of just, let's say, oh, the first one did really good, now we'll just make them and put them straight on streaming services. It could be good to just put them straight into streaming services, but at the same time, come on, like, we need the movie-going experience. We don't plan on just living the rest of our lives inside of our houses. Let us go out and enjoy things. We already can buy our groceries online. We already have streaming services that give us a endless amount of content. YouTube, on TVs, computers. Just give us more movie-going experiences. Please, for the love of God. And the most important thing that we should always remember, never listen to the words of a critic. You be the judge of the content, not anybody else. That's why I come to you not as a reviewer, but as a viewer. See you.